What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have life lessons I learned living in the Netherlands. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to support this channel by becoming a member, all you got to do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Without further ado, let's get right to it.
Small talk is not always necessary.
Mm,
Maybe you are planning to move to the Netherlands, but you don't know if it's the right place for you. Then
mm.
keep watching this video. This is a list
All
of
right, I'm
values
locked
that I
in.
have integrated into my personality and my way of thinking by living in the Netherlands, and that I think you should too.
Independence.
You have to know that Dutch culture encourages independence from a young age. There is generally a much higher standard for personal space. Particularly if you are a student, you will see that sharing accommodation, sharing spaces in general is not that common as, for example, in the UK, the US,
Mm,
or Ireland. Most of the time, students tend to have their own apartments, studios, rather than living in shared accommodations and spaces is much less common. And definitely don't be surprised to see your typical Dutch friend trying to juggle part-time job and university. Dutch students tend to be very focused, hardworking, and independent. At times I thought, oh God, I'm very spoiled. This was something incredibly
I'm very.
eye-opening for me, and definitely something that I've incorporated into my own mentality and
Mhm.
way of thinking. And I think that
Yeah,
no matter what, everybody should learn from this and kind of
yeah.
incorporate this mentality in some ways.
I feel like I completely agree with them, and I feel like you got to be in life. You just got to be willing to work hard, and I feel like the Dutch work hard. They may not work as long as everybody else, but I'll say they probably work more intensely in the hours that they do work. From what I hear, the Dutch ain't taking breaks. They ain't taking lunch breaks. I ate lunch. We eating cheese sandwiches and working through. We eating and working, scarfing it down and working. Over here, yeah, we may have longer hours, but hey, we got a little 10-minute break here, got an hour lunch break here, got another 10, 15 minute break here. They ain't taking no breaks, which is why they can just work straight through, be done with the day. All right, keep it going.
A
Pragmatism.
further thing that I've noticed living in the Netherlands is pragmatism. You see, Dutch policies tend to be based on what works rather than fixed mentality or ideologies. This means
Mm,
adaptability. If something doesn't work, we just change it. A clear
yeah,
example of this is correlated with the housing situation. I'm not saying that in the Netherlands it's easy to find a place, particularly in
yeah,
Amsterdam. However, in comparison to other countries, it's
mm,
very nice to see that tenants have some
yeah.
rights and benefits when it comes
I
to
get that.
housing. For instance, in countries such as Ireland, old ancient constitutional rights gives a lot of rights to landlords, scrapping all the rights from the tenants, making the housing
Mm,
situation and actually being able to afford a decent place to live almost impossible. This is a result of the adaptability of the system and to actually implementing things and policies that actually work. This way of doing things promotes openness and forward thinking. And I think this is essential because it will allow you to be more open minded and to scrap beliefs that are just not effective anymore.
I see what you're saying, and I feel like I agree with that. I think you have to have those pragmatic thinkers. I feel like if I was put into a category, I'd be more of a what do you call idealist? I don't know. I feel like I would. I'm pragmatic to an extent, but then I'm also like a big idealist, and like I see like a future where things are absolutely incredible. Where this is, I've done this, yeah, I see just the greatest things possible. I'll be like, I see that. But in the present, I feel like I am pragmatic in the sense of, hey, let's get everything, whatever's not working today, let's adapt, let's fix it, let's figure it out, let's keep it moving. So I feel like I get the Dutch to an extent, and being pragmatic, I think, is a great thing because yeah, you just. But with the housing, I could have swore like I just watched a video talking about like that housing is getting expensive, like and people are starting to get fed up. I could be wrong. Y'all talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think about that. Simplicity. I love simplicity.
One of the key values that I appreciated the most is frugality and simplicity. You
Mm,
see,
my
more is
kind.
not necessarily always better. The Dutch culture tends to prioritize practicality over excess. Flashy displays of
Yeah.
money and wealth are kind of frowned upon. This is a good thing because it means that society prioritizes equality. I really appreciate that in the Netherlands there is no much of a distinction between the upper class and the lower class. There are no extremes. Everybody's kind of playing at the same level, which is kind of nice. When it comes to
Yeah.
simplicity and practicality, well, this is something that I have definitely implemented in the way I do things and I approach
I
my
love
day-to-day
it.
life. You'd
Hmm.
be surprised to know that the typical stereotype of Dutch people having only bread and cheese for lunch is actually true. At first, I was kind of taken aback, like, how, what do you mean with that? But then I
I
did some
feel that.
thinking, I implemented this myself, and I love it. To be honest with you, this is something that I do 80% of the times. I don't need to buy expensive sandwiches at like Pret or Starbucks. Just, a slice of bread, a slice of cheese, and you're good to go. Because let's face it, time is
I
money, and
guess.
you definitely don't want to throw it away, right?
I disrespect cheese sandwiches, but at the same time, I love grilled cheese, so I gotta take my disrespect for cheese sandwiches away. But I mean, the cheese gotta be like hot, melted, not cold cheese. If it's gonna be cold, I want some ham. But I absolutely get it. I think that is very simple, as simplistic as you can get. Just throw some cheese on a piece of bread, give it to me, and let me keep going. I love it so
Another thing
much.
that I've surprisingly learned by living in the Netherlands is that small talk is not always necessary, possibly
Yeah.
never. I like this because I think that at the core of self improvement or any kind of improvement is the fact that you need to know where you need to improve and the mistakes that you're doing. The lack
Yeah.
of focus on small talk also promotes, leaves more space for the behavior of if you
I get
knew
that.
something, act on it. Show,
Mm.
don't tell. There is this belief, and in my opinion, also misconception, that certain countries or cultures are labeled as more welcoming and nice. Take, for
Mhm.
instance, Italy. I can assure you that we are not that welcoming as many people think. If you don't believe me, try yourself. Get a plane ticket and try and live there for a couple of months. Then you will let me know. Also, Ireland, for example. And I'm not saying that Irish people are not welcoming because they are,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's fair to say that they are more welcoming than, for example, Dutch people. So the
Okay.
fact that small talk is not always necessary and helpful is something that I've definitely implemented myself, and I think you
Mhm.
should too. Those were key life lessons that I've learned living in Netherlands. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video then.
What I say about that is I'm very introverted person. So yeah, in person I'm not gonna be like sometimes how I am on camera, so animated or so talkative when I'm around actual people. Like until I get to know you, of course, then I'm who I am on camera is who you'd see in person once I get to know you. But if I don't know you, like I'm more shy, more reserved, more not gonna say much at all. And that's not me like that I don't like you. It's just that like I'm trying to learn you. But I think what I will say about small talk is I think it is really cool. Like when you do meet a stranger and you kind of get to hear about them a little bit and maybe a little bit of story about their life or some things like you just kind of get to talking and you find out that you might have a lot in common with this person. I mean, small talk is how you make friends in school. Or you just are like in the same you like the same sport or have common interest are how you make friends in school. My bad, common interest. But small talk I think can be hugely beneficial. Like my neighbor, he was just on a jog and he just come and I'm coming out the house in my car and he asked, he was like, hey, like, do you work or like what do you do for work? And I was like, because I'm always outside like playing basketball every single day, so he's probably thinking like, dang, like I never see his car out the driveway and what's he do? And so I tell you, I'm a YouTuber and I find out he's a real estate investor, like making passive income and like that to me like is very interesting because I know YouTube's not gonna last forever. So hey, like, can I pick your brain? Like, can I talk to you and figure out how you did that? Because that's something that I want to get into. And I think had he never like said anything to me, had he just kept jogging, we might have never had that conversation. I might have never known that and never got to have that conversation with him. So I think small talk is absolutely amazing. You can form a lot of connections that way, but also sometimes it's just cool to hear a person's story. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. Give a bit of thumbs up. Check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.